afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Eleutheria, where we talk about all things liberty. And this afternoon, I have a plumber who's going to tell us how to deal with our shit. Doesn't that sound exciting?
Well, it depends on what side of the drain rod you're on or not, you know?
Okay, the question I came up with earlier this week is, what is the worst thing you have pulled out of a block drain?
Well, it's probably tampons. Lots and lots and lots and lots of tampons.
Yeah, ladies, you need to stop flushing that shit, okay?
I'll tell you one thing. This is the worst thing. It's not doing the job, and the grossness of the job is having to go to the client and tell them, by the way, this is what's blocking your drain. And it's a kind of soul destroying, but funny at the same time. And then you show them what it is, and it's a shitload of tampons.
So when my son was born, I did cloth nappies, and I was told, no, you can use these paper bamboo nappy liners, and they're flashable, so it's cool.
Yeah.
So we were like about 2 weeks into that, and the drains just blocked up. So our sewer line goes along the house here because there's bathrooms, and then it goes down that side of the house onto the street. And that's where the blockage was. And eventually, because they eventually hit the blockage with the rods, and they started pulling it out, and it was just every single one of those nappy liners that I had flushed down the toilet had just...
Don't throw nappy liners. Don't throw anything other than bog paper down the toilet.
Yeah,
everything.
Even if they tell you that they're flushable, they're really not. I went and did research after that, and I found out that those specific nappy liners are only biodegradable under certain conditions, and those conditions do not exist in a sewer pipe.
No, they don't. So, they really don't.
Yeah.
So just throw toilet paper down. That's it. Yes. And other things that come out of you, you know.
Yes. And if the triple ply starts blocking up your drains because you have old trees that are probably growing roots into your drains, maybe tell your tush that it can cope with something a little bit less.
Well, if there's a problem of roots breaking into the pipe, I'm blocking that. Whatever's blocking it is a temporary fix, because within a year or two the same thing is going to happen again. So just dig it up, cut it up, and put a new piece of pipe, whatever you need to do, and just solve the problem one time. And if there is a tree, get rid of the tree. That helps.
How do you get rid of trees? Because we have one massive tree that just won't die.
I usually just use a chainsaw.
Okay, we've done that twice.
And then dig the roots out,
Well, it's quite massive. Like the trunk is I can't get my arms around it, so we can't. It's a bit difficult to dig it up.
Well, ammonium nitrate apparently works for things like that.
It's right outside my mom's bedroom window. That might not be a good idea.
Probably not.
Just saying.
I dig them out. I dig the whole roots out and everything. If I do a job like that, I just tell the client, let me just remove the trees and everything and just pull the whole thing out, so we don't have the issue again, because it does happen again down the line and stuff. So.
And what would be your best advice to somebody who has drain problems? Is there anything we can put down our drains to keep them maintained?
Well, personally, in my professional opinion, is the house old? If the house is old, the chances are, and I'm talking like 70s beyond, the chances are you got earthenware pipes, which is a clay type pipe, and that best is just dig it all out and put new PVC pipe down. If it's a new house, then it's just a matter of finding where the problem is and fixing it properly. So.
Okay. Intensive care bed, you want me to read this out on air?
Yes, read it out.
I don't know why you WhatsApped me. Somebody wants to marry you and then divorce you and keep your Sepultura poster, which obviously means nothing to me.
It's that poster Not that one. That one. Sorry, the camera thing's weird. It's that
I
one.
know.
No, you can't have my Sepultura poster. It's all the way from London. I had to go fetch it myself.
That must have been a very expensive poster.
Very expensive. A whole £10, excluding airfare.
Excluding airfare. And accommodation and everything else that you got up to in London.
I've got a lot of all my family's in the UK basically, so accommodation's generally sorted. But I do frequent the odd hotel from time to time when I do go there, because they have pubs below, and pubs are fun.
Yes, yeah, that is the fun part of the UK. Hey, is like just about every pub has a hotel as well.
Hangovers are amazing. I love them.
Yeah. I don't like hangovers. I don't like feeling like I'm not functioning at 100%.
It's a good coffee mug, yeah.
It's a freaking awesome coffee mug.
Well, snap.
Yeah, mine's just empty.
Yeah, mine's is nearly empty. But I don't have minions to go run and fetch me coffee. So when this is empty, it's empty.
Or a husband.
I don't want a husband, I have to be honest.
Or a wife.
It's a lot of work.
Okay, let's be PC and say significant other.
Yeah,
or
significant other.
At least a housemate, you know. Because I think even having a housemate can like help ease the burden.
I think unless you're like married to them or like dating them, a housemate's generally a pretty bad idea. Personally.
Okay.
Conflicts of interest, you know, this, that.
Yeah, I never did it, so I
did it once or twice, and I'm good, thanks.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm sorry that that message came in from Laurie. So in an old house, we need to replace the pipes.
Yeah, if it's the earthenware pipes and you're continuously having problems, instead of just repairing and then hoping for the best, then if it happens again, then going back and repairing down, just change the pipes one time. It's not cheap, but it's going to be a lot cheaper than calling a plumber out all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just chuck stuff down our kitchen drain because that's the one that gives us a problem. But I don't know, this house is weird because it comes out of the kitchen sink and it goes into the floor, and it goes down probably a couple of feet from what I can gather from how I know my house is designed, and then it goes across through the garage, and it goes across the garage, and then it goes through some steps that actually come out of our garage because the garage is a little bit lower, and it goes across those steps and then out again, and it's the weirdest thing, and that gets blocked. And when we do manage to unblock it with that stuff that we chuck down it, that use Trojan or One Shot or whatever, it's that black stuff, you know, the black lining of. Ooh. And it the smell sticks on your cuticles for like weeks afterwards. Ooh.
I'm so used to it. It's just like, you know, who needs gloves? Just say, you get immune to this stuff like after a while, you know.
I'm sure. It's actually quite funny. When I had my townhouse in Mondial, well, it was where my sister was living there actually. Her next door neighbor was a plumber, and someone had left the freezer off when they were redoing her bathroom or something. They unplugged the freezer and didn't plug it back in. So all the food went off. And Paul the plumber from next door, literally, he was Paul the plumber, and he called his business Paul the plumber. And he came and he just like got rid of everything. He's like, oh, no, this is nothing.
You know, we all have to serve an apprenticeship. And you're always the guy on the front line, and you experience things for the first time in your life. And after 3 months of doing that, you're just like, okay, just another day. So you kind of just get used to it. I don't wear gloves and stuff. I just stick my hand in or whatever and just get on with it, you know? It's gross for other people, but if you've been doing it for years, it's like, you know.
Yeah, but that's other people's body excrement. Like, that has come out of other people's bodies. Like, they have bacteria that your body is not used. I suppose you never get sick, because you're constantly exposed to everybody else's bacteria.
Well, just remember this thing that's running around scaring people. Like for me, it's like, okay. I'm just saying. It's like, Not
Because you probably dealt with it in somebody's pipes like in February already.
amongst other things.
Yeah.
There's strange things you find in pipes and blockages, and I've heard horror stories from other plumbers what they found. And
Tell us. This
well,
is interesting. Like, I am morbidly interested in what people put in their drains.
Well, my lecturer when I was studying plumbing, when I didn't finish school, I was like, fuck school, let's go get a trade.
Good.
My lecturer used to work. Well, he was one of the maintenance guys for the mortuary in Cape Town. Well, the plumber was contracted to the mortuary, and they used to have to clean those drains out inside the mortuary. And not everything, I'm assuming, I don't know how mortuaries work, but I'm assuming like human stuff needs to go to like some special thing and get incinerated or whatever. But not everything gets, quartz where it's supposed to be quartz, and things go down the drain, and, things, body pieces and stuff pop out from time to time, apparently, in the mortuary. So I don't know. I've never personally done it, but my lecturer, he did it, and he's like, nah, horrible stuff. And for most guys, like when it comes to blockages and stuff like that, grease traps in the raw restaurants are like their worst things.
Oh, yes. I can imagine, because when they get solid, you don't.
I don't have an issue with them. I don't think they're that bad. I mean, I think babies and nappies are worse, but, each their own, I suppose.
Have you ever pulled a baby's nappy out of a drain?
I had a little baby brother that I used to have to change nappies, and that was pretty vile.
Okay.
So, remember, if it goes down the drain, it's been sitting there for a few days, so it's not like as
potent
as when it first comes out. It's like, yeah. So I don't think it's that gross. But the worst thing for me personally is changing toilet seats. That's gross.
What? Yes. Okay. Everybody watching this stream, like I do this. I try to remember to do this at least once a month. I should do it more often. Please, as soon as the stream is over, go to your toilet, unscrew the seats. Okay. You might want to wear gloves if you get grossed out by your own bodily fluids, because you're going to find some shit that you're going to want to do this more often if you're not already doing it. Okay. Moms of boys know. Unscrew that seat, dump it in a bath of jik water or something, and clean your toilet nicely where that seat screws in, because fuck, that's gross. Like, really.
It's freaking gross. It's really gross. But I don't know if you remember back in the day, like everyone's grandmother had doily like thingamabobs over toilet seats. Like, whoever came up with that idea, I don't know. It's the toughest thing, as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, my boys forget to lift the seat a lot of the time, okay? So can you imagine, like, if I was into having fabric on my toilet seat, like I would sit on a wet seat every single time. As it is, I need to wipe a lot of the time before I use my own toilet.
So you ever came up with the idea of putting like material on your toilet seat? I don't know. It's just, it boggles my mind. It's gross.
It is. It's really gross. And people are like, "Oh, but it's so nice and warm in winter." I'm like,
Yeah, but there's a key to that. There's a key to like warming your toilet seats. Get someone else to use the bathroom before you, and then when they're done, it might be a bit stinky, but the toilet seat's at least warm.
Exactly. Go after somebody else, and then don't you? I suppose for guys it's not so much of a thing, but maybe ladies in the comments, don't you hate it? Like if you go to a public bathroom and then you sit down on the seat and it's warm, and you're like, "Oh God, how long was the last person in here?"
I don't know. I don't use public bathrooms. I'm one of those people.
I try not to as well, but for you,
I only poop on my own toilet. I got that weird like thing where I can't poop on other people's toilets.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about just going for a pee. That's why I said it's probably guys don't experience it as much, because a woman, we can't do the urinal thing.
Yeah, but you get strange men that look at you in public spaces, like it's also a bit weird.
I thought the rule was don't look.
Dude, still look.
Oh God.
Sorry.
You guys have got to know.
Yeah, it's
Is he
really
bigger than
strange.
me?
Oh, it's just like really uncomfortable. It's like, no, it's wrong. It's so wrong on so many levels. It's like doilies on your toilet seats. It shouldn't happen, but it happens, you know.
Oh, ICB says her cheeks don't touch foreign toilets.
Good on her. Neither does mine.
Mm.
Construction site toilets are always very interesting as well.
You mean porta potties?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to enough festivals to have bad experiences with porta potties.
Well, I did something horrendous with my boss with one of the annoying appies in one of those things.
Oh, did you lock them in and then knock it over?
Yes. And he got the blue juice in places where he shouldn't have. But he should have done his work and stopped annoying me and the boss and stuff. So, you know,
Okay.
the life of being an apprentice. Construction sites are not for the timid. That's for sure.
No, they're not. They're definitely not. And if you're an appy, then you better make sure that you pulling your weight.
Yep.
And yeah, otherwise you're going to be hazed worse than anybody else. So
yeah, it's rough. It's we should send all the work people to a construction site for a month, just to like give them life experience and let's see how work they are when they come out of it, because they won't be very work.
And maybe they can realize just how hard it is to first of all build places and everything that goes into it, and like maybe they'll appreciate shit a little bit more.
But not even that, just all the verbal abuse they're going to get from everyone.
Yes. Yeah, they'll toughen up just a little bit.
I think it's a great idea.
I think so too. I have like plans for my boys. Like I'll probably, when they're like 16 or maybe I'll wait till they're 18, I'm going to send them on like a hectic apprenticeship, even if it's something that they don't want to do, just like to make sure that they get like a little bit of discipline and a little bit of
but it's a good fallback as well.
Yes.
You know? I mean, I don't know. So. I don't know if I'll stay in plumbing for the rest of my life. I mean, I don't just do plumbing. I do gas and I do pumps and getting people off the grid water-wise. I've been doing that for a long time on that. And, you know, I don't know if I'll stay in plumbing, but apprenticeship for any young person, be it male or female, is always a good idea. It doesn't matter what it is. It's a fallback.
I think so. Absolutely. And we're losing all of our trades as well. But they're not being pushed in schools.
But that's not just the other problem that's happening within the trade industry, is that we're losing our trades. Trade apprenticeships aren't done like they used to be done. So the people aren't actually learning anything anymore, you know?
Yes.
Just for example, the amounts of new guys that are qualified, and I say qualified, that don't even know how to solder copper pipes and they're supposed to be plumbers is like, and this is what they're getting taught at school, well, at college and by, you know, the guys that they do their apprenticeships for. Nothing's been done correctly. And it's not just the plumbers, it's electricians, I can't speak for the fitters and turners and stuff, but across the board, it's become like that. And gentle, I do have a plumber's crack.
But she wants to know, do all plumbers have plumber's cracks? And I think you've already said that it's like a prerequisite. Otherwise, you can't get your license, right? How does it work with a license? An accreditation
so what happens, it's changed since like I did all my stuff, but I'll speak for where I did it. So it was 3, you go to tech wherever I went to Westlake. You do N1 to N2, you can carry on with N3, but N3 plumbing stops at N2, it goes into civil engineering and stuff. And then you got to do a 3-year apprenticeship with Ever. Then you take your evidence or portfolio, however you want to call it, and you take it through to the, what do you call, like the people that do the trade test centers, and then they check through your stuff, okay, cool, you good to go. And then they test you over 3 days under pressure. And if you pass, you pass. If you don't, well, you can always come back, yeah?
Yeah, and like, how often do they do those tests? that you
No,
can...
it's once. It's once. It's once you qualified plumber, you're a qualified plumber. So with my gas stuff, which I'm finishing off,
yeah,
I get my card like very soon. We're just waiting for the one thing to we're waiting for the builders essentially to hurry up and finish their side. I've got to go then every 2 years up to Randburg and then get the refresher course stuff, etc., and get it re-certified like a driver's license.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm in Cape Town.
Mr. Punisher would like to know if you can recommend someone in the southern suburbs.
Yell at me.
Okay, well, you guys need to get in touch. I don't know how. If you're being like, because I know Mr. Punisher doesn't use his real name online either. So you guys need to figure your shit out.
Well, you got my email. He can just email you and email me. Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, Mr. Punisher, I can pop you his email. Actually, I can put it in the comments quickly.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me just look for it.
As rebellious Ruth realized, you can't find me anywhere because I'm not on any social media or anything.
That's cool. Or if you are, you're not.
No social media. I hate social media.
Okay.
It's soul destroying.
This is true. This is true. You know who? And he's also a redhead, but he went off social media and like he just comes on every now and then. Is Ed Sheeran?
He's that essentially walking carrot that sings love songs, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know much about him.
Yeah, he went off. I think he went through a bit of a problem with addictions. Like this email address is so hard, guys. So hard. It's his name as you see it at Gmail. So there you go. When a plumber comes to your house, how do you tell if he is definitely licensed? How do we check?
Well, for example, they generally carry a card, right? If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And but most guys won't carry that, but they can send you proof for some kind of qualification or whatever. So from their trade center, their certificate or red seal, like, just.
And businesses should be listed with the relevant.
Yeah, I'm on the fence about it.
Yeah, I'm also
on the sense that so the plumbers technically run through the building industry, but then you got our OPSA and you got their watchdogs called Perm, but they're not technically, far as I know, like the correct guys. Building council guys are the correct guys that everything goes through, and they're trying to push through new stupid rules and regulations that half the plumbers think are absolute bullshit, and I think it's bullshit. So yeah, it's a strange one. It's a difficult one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think with over-regulation, you tend to make a space for an alternative market then, and that's when you start getting your dodgy plumbers and stuff like that, because they start becoming more rife.
There's qualified plumbers that I know I wouldn't recommend to anyone, and there's guys that aren't qualified that I would recommend because they're just better at plumbing, if that makes sense.
Mm.
Just because a plumber's qualified doesn't mean he's very good.
Yes.
I mean, half the jobs I walk into that have CSEs, I sit there scratching my head going, okay, how did this get a CSE? This is not legal. And it's not just the plumbing, it's across the electrical board and everyone else. It's a bit of a shit show for the last 10, 12 years, unfortunately. And I think it's because, back in the day, if I can use that word, like your inspector was an inspector and he came and he inspected everything. Nowadays, it isn't like that anymore, which I think the LPG Gas Association is correct because it's privatized and they don't take any shit, if that makes sense. So if you're a gas guy and you do something wrong, your head's on the chopping block, period. So
yeah,
it's a tough one.
It is.
Sorry. people looking
That's
for
okay.
me.
Joking Atheist wants to know if, when you were growing up, if you thought you would end up being a plumber.
No, when I was growing up, I thought I was going to be the singer of Guns N' Roses or something. That's what I wanted to do.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
I had a very strange outlook as a kid to like what I wanted to do. I wanted to be an astronaut at some stage, or I mean, I thought, I don't know if you know Predator the movie, but I literally thought Predator lived in my roof every time there was a noise. So that used to freak me out. Because I didn't have the typical childhood of not watching certain violent movies. That was my education to the real world, apparently. So, I was watching Alien and Predator when I probably should have not been watching Alien and Predator and, Army of Darkness and stuff like that. So,
probably.
Yeah.
Well, my husband read it.
That was creepy.
He read, and he must have been 11 or 12. And he wonders why he's scared of clowns.
The original It was creepy. Like back then, if you watch it now, it's like ridiculously stupid. But it's a classic. The new one's not scary though. But
he read it. He read the book.
Yeah, that's creepy as well.
Yeah.
I've never read the book. I've never read a Stephen King book. I usually read other weird shit in general.
Such as?
Well, so because I listen to heavy metal, there's this book called Lords of Chaos, and it's about the Norwegian black metal scene in the early 80s and the 90s, and the killing of Euronymous, and the church burnings and stuff, and it's quite an interesting read. So if you're into heavy metal, it's a good thing to read.
Okay.
And then serial killers, that sort of shit.
Yeah. No.
I like Harry Potter. I don't get it. I don't get Harry Potter. I mean, Lord of the Rings is so much cooler. It's got Gandalf thing.
Yeah. Yeah, but when I read fiction, it's to help me fall asleep, and it's to make me feel good, So yeah, that's
fair enough. I saw the first movie not by choice, and then I checked out a Harry Potter.
Okay.
So
that's cool. Yeah. I understand it's not for everybody. Last question from Joking Atheist: is gas cheaper than electricity?
Yes and no. So if you got a gas fireplace, throw it out your house and go wood.
Really?
Yeah.
You see, I'm trying to get my mother to put a wood fireplace in her lounge, because at the moment there's some diesel shit in there, but we've never used it. But she wants gas because she doesn't want as much cleaning. So
the problem with gas is that South Africa is not set up for gas fireplaces, if that makes sense, because we don't have natural gas on that. So technically speaking, gas fireplaces, it's going to get a little bit technical, but they need 248 kg LPG gas cylinders to really run correctly continuously because of the draw rate. It's like, off the top of my head, I think it's like 0.92 kgs an hour or something like that. So it needs 248 kgs on a manifold running and then drawing from both those tanks, so the evaporation doesn't happen as quick and stuff like that. And then what happens after hours, sometimes you start getting like a bit of a scratchy throat and stuff like that. And basically your fireplace starts burning dead ends. It's basically like the thick oil sludge of the LPG in the pipes and stuff, because the tanks can't keep with the amounts of gas that you need burning and stuff. So South Africa gas fireplaces are a really bad idea. Throw them out, put wood in. If you got a gas geyser, it depends what you're using the gas geyser for. Are you running how many baths, showers, baths, etc., off it? It all depends what you're looking for. For cooking, gas all the way, far cheaper than electricity. So.
Okay. Well, yeah, you can't get much more of a straight answer than that on a complicated question.
Well, it's not too complicated.
Well, It has a complicated answer in South Africa because we don't have gas lines to our houses.
Yeah.
So
The biggest, yeah.
No, it's fine. You had something else to say about gas?
The biggest issue with the gas fireplaces is, look, you get the ones that are built for South Africa, but they don't work quite correctly, over a long extended period of time. And then all the fancy ones that the rich people, they import, they sit there a month after going, my fireplace is not working, is because they're not built for LPG gas. They're built for natural gas. So.
Okay. All right, well, I shall try and convince my mother on the wood-burning fire then, because we have a stack of wood outside. So, becomes free. Wisdom Drops would like to know your thoughts on bullying and how to deal with that.
On bullying, like at school?
I think he might be referring to on the sites, building sites.
Don't. On the building site, no, that's just the way it is. Accept it. And it comes from everyone, from the bricklayer to the electrician, to the plumber, to the architect, it's everyone. I suppose it's like being on an oil rig. There's a hierarchy to it. I mean,
pecking order.
Yeah, it's the way it is. Just toughen up or check out. That's the way construction sites are.
Okay, cool. Mr. Punisher sent you an email, so I'm glad that the stream might actually be helping some people, which is awesome. And then Gentle Inflatables wants to know 3 plumbing tools you have with you all the time.
Well, that's my toolbox. That's like everything.
Okay.
Water pump pliers, my spanners, my funny spanners for the back of basins, my shut rods, geyser elements, spanners. Geez, there's too many to know. Screwdrivers. I mean, I've got an electrical meter as well, but I generally just touch it, and if I get shocked, then I know it's on. It's. Well, thirsty. I'm not joking.
My husband's the opposite. He'll be like, "Is it off? Is it off at the DB board? Is that light switch off?" I'm like, "Of course, it doesn't matter if the light switch is off, the DB board is off." He's like, "I don't trust electricity." But we are talking about the person that goes and cuts through cables whilst they're still plugged in. So.
Well, I'll put it this way. Don't do things the way I do it to test if it's live or not. Do it the correct way. But I just go, okay, fuck, it's on, So.
Okay. I fell really behind with the comments. So.
I have no idea what's going on in the comments.
Mr. Punisher says, I bet he read the Anarchist Cookbook too.
No, yeah. I wouldn't even know what it is. I don't even know how to cook, as we realized in my last stream. I don't even know how to do the 2-minute noodle thing correctly. Seriously, my cooking is horrendous. Like, it looks edible, but it's really not edible.
Can you at least make an omelet or scrambled eggs? Because at least that's something that's good for you.
Omelets, well, to a degree. Well, omelet, no idea how to make an omelet. But I know how to take an egg, mix it up, and put it in and scramble it. It's generally overcooked.
Okay.
I think cooking's like one of those things you've got to be slightly passionate about, and I'm just so not.
Okay, so you eat to live, you don't live to eat.
No, not really. Yeah, I only eat once a day. I just drink too much coffee and smoke too much.
Yeah, good.
And the women in my family have no idea to cook. So when Woolworths became a thing, that's what they went to. Get the TV meal, pop it in type thing.
Okay.
my grandmother still thinks you boil a chop. There's no hope.
There isn't. There really isn't. Oh yeah. So the joking atheist, this is no surprise. He watched and read it when he was younger. So he went to CNA, bought packets of party balloons, and threw them down the stormwater drain pipes to make sure the clown was well stocked.
Is he taking the piss, or is he being serious? Because I never know with him. But one way it's funny.
You know, I really don't know with him. I really don't. But yeah, he is damn funny, so that's cool. Paul has gas geysers. And what's your take on solar geysers?
I've got a better idea for solar and gas. You combine the two together, then you basically use no electricity.
That's what I was thinking.
So you got your solar panels and your solar geyser that does its thing, and then it goes to the gas geyser, wherever your gas geyser is supposed to be feeding to. And then all the gas geyser does is heat the differential that you need, like be it 4 or 5 degrees, and it works like a charm, and you basically use no electricity.
Yeah, that's what I'd love to do, because we've got 2 solar geysers, but I mean, a lot of the time in winter, and we don't even have cloudy winters because we're in Joburg, we still need electrical backup to get the water, especially in the kitchen. You need hot water in the kitchen.
I mean, it's like the whole off the grid, and everyone wants to go off the grid, but it's a lot more difficult, especially in Cape Town. It's not impossible to go completely off the grid. But the best way to go off the grid is like have your solar panels for your electricity and your UPS and whatever. Have a borehole that can run off that thing. Have a septic tank so you're not connected to council on the sewage line, and then have gas feeding up the if that makes sense.
You know what I don't like? You know what I don't like about septic tanks is having to get someone to empty them. And there's a lot of companies in Joburg that are then just dumping that raw sewage in like velds.
Welcome to South Africa, I think.
You're paying a fortune to these people, or maybe it's not so much of a fortune, but you're still paying for them to remove the sewage, and they're dumping it where it shouldn't be dumped. And I just have issues with that.
I don't know. There's a lot of people that are just dumping, and it's not just that. It's like everything.
Rubble, mattresses, old mattresses. Just take
even asbestos,
yeah,
whatnot. So I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. I have no idea what any of the solutions to our issues are in this country. To be honest, I just kind of go with what Master War Chief Paul Hart says and Roman.
Yes.
Imperatus.
Imperatus, yes. Get a gun. No, get 2. There's a few ways I've thought of around like the sewage thing. Because you can do a French drain, and you can also do a septic tank that never has to be
it's got the French drain basically.
Or composting toilets, but people are lazy. They don't want to have to, when they go separate ways.
You broke up there a bit. I didn't quite catch the little section. It was after separate ways, like the Journey song.
It's like, I don't want to get too graphic about dealing with human waste unless people really want me to, but you know what, just look up composting toilets and tell me what you think, people.
I think they'll work. What I've seen of them.
There's one that you can get, it's like, because I've seen the little ones, they're called Nature's Head. Like, really? How could they go and call their toilet Nature's Head? That you can put in like RVs and I suppose even campsites and stuff like that. It looks like a normal toilet, but it's got a place where the solid waste goes, and a pee bottle. Literally, it's a bottle that clips in the front for the pee. And then, but there's a system that's actually available in South Africa, but you would have to do it at build. When you build a house, you would then put it in, and literally when you flush the toilet, the solid waste then goes into like this thing that turns. It's got like a compartment for each poop.
I think I've seen it.
And it turns, and as it goes out, and then by the time it's at the end, it's already dry, and you can go and turn it into flower beds or vegetable gardens or whatever. But it's like this huge like dome thing that you would need to build into a house.
No, I think I know what you're talking about. I think I've seen it. I've seen a few different types.
And I mean, that would be the answer to so many problems in this country as well. I know they're expensive, but if you look at the tenders that get awarded for flippin' toilets to be put in townships and then they never turn up, or they just put toilets all together in the middle of a field.
It's also a case of trying to convince the powers that be with a lot of these things, which seem to be absolutely impossible. You know, the loopholes you got to jump, just like from the water side of things, people want to go off the grid and stuff. The loopholes you got to try and jump through to get approval is like, it's never ending, if that makes sense. And a lot of them just don't make sense either. So I don't know.
Yeah, you know, that's the problem with South Africa, is that everything is top down.
Yeah.
And whereas actually we just do need more ground roots programs. Like, just, you know what, if you can get a sponsor or whatever for a couple of million rand, go and get some of those composting toilet systems, educate people on how to use them, install them in their houses properly, and let it start working. And then let these people start attesting to the fact that it's changed their life, because they've now closed up their pit toilet that they dug for themselves in their backyard. They have the system inside their house. And yes, it's a little bit different to a traditional toilet, but actually it's more hygienic.
Yeah.
And they don't need running water for it.
Yeah,
Funny.
completely agree. Absolutely, completely agree. But again, it's like, as I said, the powers that be, trying to get things passed and stuff through them is like, it's really, really difficult.
It is. It's really difficult. Wisdom Drop says, what if it's the foreman and it's illegal?
If it's the foreman and it's illegal. In what sense? Are you talking about a construction site and that? Or a new renovation, or?
Just some cuck on the brain. Benoni is burning today, and EFF for the bullies I'm trying to work with. Okay.
What was Wisdom Drops referring to?
I think bullying on a site. I'm not sure. Going through all the...
I mean, if I had to go through every horror story that I've seen on construction sites, it's like, I wouldn't even know where to begin. And I think people would be quite shocked what happens in construction sites, if that makes sense. But again, it's part of, it's the hierarchy. It's the way it is. It's never going to change. You know, it's not for the timid, you know? So, yeah.
But I would think if someone's being bullied into doing something illegal, that there's probably a...
Oh, in that sense. Well, that technically should not happen, because whoever's in charge of whatever thing. So on the plumbing and the electrical side of things, there has to be a COC that gets signed off on it. And whoever signs that COC is liable for whatever they signed off for. So if it's the electricians, they're liable for that. If it's the gas, it's the gas guys. If it's the plumbing, it's the plumbing guys. Well, if it's the building, it's the builders. But I don't know. Builders are a different story altogether. So.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose we need more detail, and then, like, there must be channels that you can follow that are outside the building site as well. So you can, yeah. The only way to go properly off-grid is to put on your loincloth and run into the Kruger Park.
I actually completely agree with Joking Atheist there. He's 100%.
Yeah. My husband would actually love to go up that way on holiday soon. But we're battling to find on our timeshare points, like, enough places open at the times that we can go.
What's to the Kruger? I've never been.
I've never been to Kruger either. I've been to Pilanesberg, and I've been to Gluey and Filosi, which is in KwaZulu-Natal.
I've only been to Durban and Pietermaritzburg, that side of the world. I don't know much about KZN as a whole. I just know the bunny chow's really good.
If you're into that sort of stuff.
Yeah, hotter the better, huh? More chilies. Let's go.
I don't do hot stuff. very well. You're making hot sauce, right?
Well, we're busy growing Carolina Reapers and shit, so hopefully.
Okay, cool.
We got Carolina Reapers, we got Ghost Pep. Well, there's about, I don't know how many. There's like 5, 6 different types of ghost peppers we got. So hopefully I can create the world's hottest chili sauce.
Okay. Yeah, I won't be having any of that. Oh, my husband. So my husband's eating Banting, carnivore. I don't know. He gave up carbs, and sorry.
It works.
It does work. He literally, his heartburn stopped overnight. Like overnight, gone. No more heartburn. And so we were in Checkers and he was like picking up some meat stuff, and they had these like bra pack things that were on half price because it was like 2 days before their sell-by date. And we often buy those things, like even if it's like already prepared meals or stuff like that, and we stick them in the freezer. Pizzas as well. Stick them in the freezer, and then like you have a easy meal, and it costs you half what it would in the shops, and it costs you like less than a quarter of what it would to eat out. So it's lekker. So we pick up these things, and they had jalapenos society things. So it was like jalapenos stuffed with cottage cheese. And hello boy, and then wrapped with bacon. So he cooked them up that night, and he bit into one, and it was fiery hot. And I was like, no, that's not right for jalapeno. So I tasted it anyway, and I was like, no, that's really not right for jalapeno, because I can eat jalapeno. It's just like, it's got a bit of a bite, but it's sweet and it's pleasant.
Was it maybe not the jalapenos that are like pickled, if that's the correct term?
No.
Brine and, you know.
No, the problem was, so you don't realize this when it's stuffed with cottage cheese, but he realized the next day when he tried to eat the leftovers, because it just kept getting hotter, and like the one end he ate, it wasn't so hot. It was nice, like what he was expecting. The other end was just seeds. So they hadn't cleared the seeds out before they stuffed them. Yeah.
And it's hotter on the way out than it's in. I can guarantee you that much.
I didn't ask about that. I didn't.
So the secret is just put a bog roll in the freezer or the fridge, and you get to go the next day.
Or just like, I don't know, get some aloe vera and use a flannel, just please throw the flannel away afterwards. I don't want to wash that shit.
That's getting a little bit too intimate for us, I'm concerned. The bog roll in the freezer works for me yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never had to deal with anything like that, so that's okay. Steve E is saying those specials from supermarkets are dodgy as fuck. I've never had a problem. I'm gonna touch wood. We've never had a problem because it's they sell them like 1 or 2 days before they sell by date. They sell them at half price like that. And if you pop them straight in the freezer, there's not a problem. Or cook them that day,
Yeah, but how many people eat those orange bubble chips?
Bubble chips?
Yeah, they're called bubbles. They're like orange. You smell them, you open up, and they're like basically. People love them, but they're dodgy as hell. So,
There's a lot of things that are dodgy as hell that come in packets.
So when we still eat
them in the name of food. So
I mean, like when I was growing, you're saying? Oh, when I was growing up, so I used to spend a lot of time in the Korean stuff, like in Worcester and Oitson and Plain Korea or whatever it's called. And you used to stop at the little spaza shops, and they used to get those like massive packets of those like air chips that were essentially preservatives and tartrazine. I mean, they're sketchy as hell, but we still ate them.
Yeah, I mean, we used to get those puff chips in school, like the debutantes used to sell them to raise money. There's those puff chips, and they salt and vinegar, and you open it and it smells like rotten eggs, but we ate it.
And they're very dodgy, extremely dodgy.
Yes.
I mean, you're essentially eating like a packet of like Chernobyl right there. God knows what's inside those chips.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah, I don't like. I've been quite aware of what I give my kids, so I do give them the occasional treat, and we'll buy them like a packet of chips or whatever, a packet of knickknacks or cheese curls, or even the cheap ones. No problem. Buy them sweets. They can share a packet of sweets once a week or whatever. That's it. But their go-to snack is popcorn.
I can't do popcorn. You get that corn stuck in the back of your tooth. I can't do that.
Toothpicks. My kids love popcorn. So we've got a goodie that goes in the microwave, and they make themselves popcorn when they feel like a cheat snack. But also I have kids that come and ask me if they can have a carrot, like other kids come and ask their parents if they can have sweets. So I think I just raised weirdos.
No, I think you've done all right. My mom raised weirdos. I'm one of them.
Well, we're all a little bit weird, I guess. So, but yeah, I mean, my middle child, he'll come to me and he'll say, "Mommy, can I have a carrot?" And I'm like, "Well, Nana's just made biscuits. Would you like a biscuit?" "I'll have a carrot, please."
But I remember I was a kid. I also liked carrots. I don't know. Maybe it's a kid thing. I also used to eat like a lot of celery, just like plain celery, like sticks, as a kid.
I know. My kids won't eat celery. But yeah, they love carrots because carrots are sweet. So
So maybe it's a kid thing. I don't know. As you get older, you start eating like things you probably shouldn't eat.
Wisdom Drops had my favorite meal today. Had Greek falafel pita with halloumi today. Good balance after all the steaks.
I'm not even too sure what halloumi is. I think it's cheese, right?
It's cheese, yeah. It should be made with goat's milk.
Never had goat's milk. You kind of put me off milk and eggs. I have to be honest.
I did.
Yeah, there was that conversation on the other Telegram group, and there was eggs and farts. And I haven't been able to look in an egg or like look at milk since then. Actually, I lie. There's quick from time to time as a kid, but I don't know how I feel about milk and eggs anymore.
No, it's not. No, just egg mayo. That's all. I don't like egg mayo.
And I used to love egg mayo. I loved this. It was like the best with like a little bit of salt and a shitload of pepper. And now I just can't even think of like ever eating egg mayo again in my life. I have to be honest.
I can still eat boiled eggs though, so that's okay.
It's still an egg.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that's quite.
Well, where else do you expect me to get my protein from? Like, we live in Joburg. Fish is expensive up here, so I have to eat eggs.
Well, do you want to trade places? Like, I'll go to Joburg, you can come to Cape Town. There's as much fish as you want. I don't touch fish. Hate fish.
You really want to live in Joburg?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm contemplating moving back up to Joburg. I love Joburg. I get the issues with Joburg, but Joburg's kind of home, if that makes sense. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm home, All the chaos and shit, like, cool, whatever. It is what it is. But it's Joburg, It's like Cape Town. I'm like, nah.
So you're from here originally?
Yeah, from Pretoria originally. Okay. I'm the only Praetorian person that can't speak a word of Afrikaans, I suppose. I think because, my family's of Irish and Scottish stock, that my mom thought it was a funny joke to have me born in Pretoria, but she did.
Okay. And so you said all your family is overseas. So is everybody go back?
I'd say basically 90% of my family's back in the UK. On my stepdad's side of the family they're all in Australia and New Zealand and that. So when I say my stepdad, he's my real dad, as far as I'm concerned, because he adopted me when I was really young and stuff. He's here at the moment with my brother, my younger brother. But they were supposed to leave this year, but obviously with the whole thing, it's backtracked till next year. So when they go, I'm probably going to come back up to Joburg, chances are. I love Joburg. I love Gauteng.
Okay. And where in Joburg will you live?
Well, Springs is definitely not an option, and neither is Brakpan. So anywhere else but those two places.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I kind of like, what's it? The Randburg, that side of the world, but more than the East Rand. But I've got no issues with Benoni and Boxburg. I'm fine with that.
Okay. Yeah, no, Randburg has too many people now, and the roads and the infrastructure can't really handle it all that well.
It sounds like Cape Town now.
Pretty much, yeah.
If you go to Tableview, like every second number plate's from KZN now.
Really?
Oh yeah, give it a few more years. There'll be more Shark supporters in Cape Town than Stormers supporters.
Okay, let's talk rugby. Who do you support?
I'll support the Bulls, man. I'll support a proper rugby team.
Oh no, God! Oh fuck! I have to say goodbye. Cheers.
Okay.
I'm kicking you off.
I'm from Pretoria. I'm supposed to support the Bulls,
Fair enough. You can use that as your excuse, but yeah.
I just think the coastal teams are really adorable. They try so hard, but they never really get anywhere. Just saying.
Okay. Well, I've been a Sharks supporter since I was 15 years old because James Small used to play for them. So.
Oh, I like James Small. Yeah, but he also played for Province. I mean, ugh.
Yeah, he left the Sharks and went to play for Province, and then he retired.
I mean, just want to say one thing about remember the Stormers and the Sharks and the Lions? They've all walked past that Super Rugby trophy. They walked past it. They saw it, but we got to lift it 3 times.
Okay.
So
I'm still a Sharks supporter.
Steve Hofmeyr was right in his song.
I don't know Steve Hofmeyr's songs. I really don't.
I don't know any of his songs either, but the one that gets played at Loftus Fastfalls. Other than that, I just know Steve Hofmeyr is my spirit animal.
Okay. He's pretty cool. I like his views, that's for sure. Mud Fang is saying, please don't bring boiled eggs to work in a lunchbox because it's gross.
I'm probably one of the few people that go to work that don't eat lunch. Like, I only eat at nighttime, and that's it.
Yeah, my husband's doing the same thing now. Well, he takes yogurt with blueberries in case he gets hungry so that he continues to make good choices because it's very difficult to make good choices outside the house. Because it's like pies or chips or toasted sandwiches or, it's not that easy. So he takes that with as like a just in case. But yeah, he's also, like his body's normalizing to eating once a day.
I can tell you the banting thing worked because I did it for a while. I dated a Portuguese chick and they're like very strict on diets and shit. So I thought it wasn't proper banting. I just did no carbs and sugar. It worked. I lost like 26 kgs in 2 months or something ridiculous.
Sure.
And I felt a lot better afterwards.
Okay. He's not doing it for that. It was the heartburn that was keeping him up at night. So
no, I can't talk on heartburn. I've never had heartburn, but I hear it's horrible.
No, it is. It's really horrible. So, and my dad got that cancer of the esophagus from repeated heartburn after he stopped smoking, because he replaced chocolate with cigarettes, and unfortunately that did end up taking him because it then went to the lungs. So. So yeah, it's a bit of a thing for me.
No, I completely get that.
You have to fix this. So, hey, Tim Noakes convinced him, so it's all good.
I don't know much about Tim Noakes. The amount of stuff I know about Tim Noakes was some outcry a few years ago with the UCT or some shit. I didn't pay much attention to it, and whatever King Germ says, but he seems to have pretty decent view as far as I can see.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think the first time it actually came up on my radar was I was watching this young family in New Zealand. They were driving around New Zealand in a converted school bus. they were living literally off grid in a school bus and driving up and down, and they shared how they were eating, and they said, Tim Noakes is being unfairly vilified and whatever, and I was like, what's this? What, he's South African?
Well, I think anyone who says a little bit of truth gets vilified nowadays. I mean, it's much of the same stuff, with that kind of stuff. If someone says 1 ounce of truth, and it's like, oh my God, everyone has a freak out.
Yeah, and also how dare you suggest that a person can fix their ailments with food?
Yeah.
Then we can't sell all these drugs that we've developed to solve problems that we invented.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you look at people in rural areas that live in rural South Africa, they tend to be a lot healthier when they're older and things like that. It's because they're eating like what's coming off the farm and stuff,
Yes.
So.
And they're not, like, the soil is clean,
Yeah.
So they're not obsessive about washing their fruit and vegetables and stuff like that. So when you're ingesting that bacteria and stuff like that, it just keeps you healthy. I'm not telling you to go out and eat a handful of dirt, okay? That's, please, before somebody decides to clip that and say, look at what this woman says you should tell people to do.
Well, I can always make a video of me eating dirt just for shits and giggles. Like,
that could be quite interesting. We could do it with Milo and sand.
Don't dare me to do something. I'll do it. Like, I have no scrum about doing anything.
No, we're not going to do that because, But just like living closer to nature, like going back to
But how close do you want to live?
Lifestyle.
How close do you want to live to nature? I mean, I'm surrounded by hippies and vegans. It's not always fun.
No, those aren't natural people. Those are.
They think they are.
Yeah, they might think they are, but like the closest they get to actually
this Burning Man.
Being an activist is Burning Man, and so that happens once a year, and then otherwise it's this is how they are activists, is they're doing this. This is it, and their postures actually show it too, and their spines are never going to straighten out again because they're not eating enough calcium and shit like that they actually need for like strong bones and that.
But I think it's selective activism as well, to be honest.
Of course it is.
It's only what suits whatever his person's agenda is, and then they'll focus on that section and forget about the rest,
Mm-hmm.
So, I think there's a lot of selective crap that's going on at the moment. Well, for a while, I think.
Matt Fang is asking us for medical opinions. What do we both think of CBD oil and or weed for chronic pain and some cancers?
I don't smoke marijuana or no issues with it. It's just not my thing, I prefer a bottle of Jägermeister. That usually sorts my issues out.
A whole bottle in one night?
Yeah. Well, so, lockdown had an effect on all of us, and I don't drink at home. That's like my rule. If I go out, I'll go have a drink down by the pub or whatever. But it's like 3 months or so, whatever, I haven't had a drink. So I thought, let's just do one day. Well, that was a bottle of Jack, a bottle of Jägermeister, half a bottle of Vitblitz, and some other concoction, like another homemade. The hangover was intense. So,
I'm sure.
But I did feel a lot better that week afterwards.
Oh, I'm sure you probably had a good clean out as well.
Well, I opened my phone up and there was 23 videos that I apparently recorded, was sending to my mother. I watched one video and I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'm not doing this. Delete all the videos. What I don't know didn't happen.
Okay. I don't. To be honest, I think the CBD thing is overhyped. Totally overhyped. CBD does not offer any analgesic benefits unless there is THC. And you need to fiddle around and find the right balance between CBD and THC that works for yourself. I think CBD is hell of expensive for what it is. And so yeah, I'm like, if you're into weed and you enjoy a blunt every now and then, I don't think you should be persecuted for that.
No.
I'm glad that weed is legal, but I do want people to start admitting that children should not be fucking with their brain chemistry by using this natural product at so young. Okay, essential oils are also a natural product, but aromatherapists know that there's certain essential oils that you do not use on young people because it can alter the wiring in the brain.
Yeah.
So before everything is fully formed up here, no.
Yeah.
No. Done.
No, I'm 100% with you there. Don't. No, I'm with you
Same
all the
for
way.
alcohol and the same for nicotine. I feel the same way about nicotine as well.
Well, I can't preach on that because I started smoking at a young age, but yeah.
I was also young, but I'm allowed to have the opinion. I'm not preaching, I'm just having the opinion.
I think you should do more preaching. I love it. I think it's good. Supermom knows what's best, you know, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, most of the time.
So I reckon preach more. Do the Supermom thing. It's fantastic. I appreciate it. And I don't have kids.
Oh, thank you. I love that. And I love that we've had such a really active comment section, even though I wasn't really able to address it all that much. But I'll make up for it tomorrow because I won't have a guest tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening in the comments. So if anyone's posed questions, sorry I haven't answered. I'm not watching what's going on.
I've been monitoring, and I think we got to all the questions. If there's anything that we didn't address that you guys would like us to address, you have, let's say, 5 minutes to pop them in. So before I let everybody go so that they can go watch Ramon.
Apparently you have a nice face. Thank you. I think you're the first person to ever think that.
I think you have an awesome face.
Well, it's all right. It has its uses, I suppose.
Well, yeah, I suppose it's better than just bones, hey?
Well,
I like the beard.
It used to be way bigger. Like, it used to be like down to here.
Oh, wow. How did you get it that long?
I'm just really good at growing hair. I don't know how to do it. I just grow it.
You're so lucky. Yeah, what shampoo?
Tresemme. I only use Tresemme. Seriously.
I just popped your email in the comments again in case anybody's in Cape Town and needs a plumber. Yeah, I still have my Tresemme behind the camera.
I found out that apparently Dove's got some baggage to it, and I also have been known to use Dove from time to time. So there's no winning on the beauty products.
Oh, apparently, I think the thing that came out recently about Dove is they claim to be 96% sustainable or something, but they use palm oil. Because, you know, palm oil is like the new evil.
Yeah.
You mustn't eat Nutella because it's made with palm oil. And you mustn't have chocolate from this company because they use palm oil. And yeah.
But so then again,
I think that's the thing with them.
The other day, I was on Laura's stream, and apparently I'm doing my beautification all wrong anyway. So I've been wrong the whole time. Apparently, you're not supposed to wash your face with Protex. I didn't know that.
It's not recommended, no. It's really not recommended. Like I have a face wash that I use, but I've always had very dry skin, and now that I'm older, it's even more dry. So yes, I use an actual face wash that is gentler on my face.
So yeah, Tresemme and Protex, bad apparently. I learned something new. I'm supposed to put things on and then dab it. I don't know. I have to rewatch the video. I can't remember it completely.
So you have to wash your face in circular motions. I'm actually just filling time to see if any questions come in. So you wash your face in circular motions, and then you rinse the soap off, and then you dry it, and then you take the toner and you put it on your hands and you press it gently into your face, because the toner helps your skin, like the pores close up, and it does stuff. I don't know. And then you moisturize.
Okay, I'll give it a bash. I'll let you guys know how it goes.
But also you have a beard, so you need to get some beard oil.
I just use Tresemme. Seriously.
Afterwards, dude.
Yeah, but my beard's like generally extremely soft, like even in its natural state. So it's like, I don't know, Tresemme does the job, but I'll get beard oil and I'll give it a bash.
Yeah, my husband uses the sorbet one. So, but there was one that I got off Faithful to Nature that he said was better than the sorbet one. So
sorbet, is that like beauty place? So
yes, but their products are available in Clicks as well.
Oh, I love Clicks. Favorite place.
So do I.
Fantastic place.
And Yanni van der Walt has joined us.
Hail Gandalf.
Yes, Hail Gandalf.
See, if you got Yanni on the stream now, it would literally be Lord of the Rings. You got like Gimli the Battle Dwarf, and you have Yanni Gandalf the White.
There we go. There we go. Castor oil with a bit of rosemary oil is good for beards. So castor oil also helps, but it's very oily and it doesn't like sink in very easily. So you use a tiny bit, but castor oil also helps for hair growth. It helps hair grow.
Isn't castor oil that stuff that they used to give our grandparents when they were naughty or something?
No,
like
they used to give
castor oil.
You used to get a tablespoon of castor oil after Sunday lunch, every Sunday after Sunday lunch, so that you would have your clean out. Yeah, and they used to give it to women to try and get them to go into labor as well.
Like what happened with prunes? Don't prunes do the same job?
Well, exactly. Like, yeah.
I think my thingamabob asked me if I ride a bike. No, I don't ride a bike.
David Boshoff is saying try camphill.org.za. They have natural products.
Is that for you or me?
I think it's for everyone. I don't know. Okay. I'm just sharing it. I don't know. I think we're just going to Clicks to buy some more trays. Oh shit, we can't.
Well,
there must be some in the storeroom that we can buy for like half price. Hey.
Well, I'll just find if there's no more Tresemme. What's the next thing that is edgy that people are protesting about, and I'll just buy more of that. I'm stockpiled on Tresemme, so I've got more than enough for a while.
Okay, so when you run out of that, then you can buy Dove.
Yes,
because by then we'll be back onto the palm oil thing.
Yeah, we'll just buy Dove. Whatever pisses the masses off, I'll just buy that, just for shits and giggles. Why not?
Awesome. Okay. Joking Atheist says he hears bull sperm is great for beard growth. So he tried it and he ended up with udders.
Well, I'm not gonna go sit under a bull and get that stuff and put on my beard.
Yeah, I think the extraction process might be
I don't want to know how
ideal.
The extraction process, how that goes.
Exactly. Okay, well, it is 1 minute to 5, so I think it's time to sign off. What do you want to say?
Thank you. This was awesome. Really enjoyed it. Thank you, Super Mom.
No, thank you for coming on. It was awesome to talk to a plumber, and apparently Mr. Punisher is really appreciative that the stream helped him, so that's great.
Oh, he's welcome.
Yeah, so just check your email when we're done. I'm going to share your email one last time.
Okay, so well, if people have questions or stuff, I can do what I can to help them.
There we go. And yeah, thanks so much. It's been fun. I think I think the viewers enjoyed it as well. So yeah, everybody, thanks for joining us for this different live stream talking about plumbing. But yeah, anything goes on Eleutheria. So stay safe out there, because there are red berets that are looking to cause cuck. So just be careful and don't wear a mask if you don't have to. And cheers.